This is the ultimate comparison of low spin drivers available in 2025. Do you want to know how Titleist, Taylormade, Ping, Cobra, and Callaway compare against each other? Then you better watch this video. Welcome back to my channel. We're talking about low spin drivers, particularly those that are available in 2025 in the fitting bay. There's 5 of them. We've got the Titleist GT3, we got the Ping G440 LST, we have the Taylormade Qi35 LS, we have the Cobra DS Adapt LS, and we have the Callaway Elyte Triple Diamond driver. We're going to be comparing all 5 of them. I'm going to give you a very high sample size. We're talking about 50 shots, 10 shots with each driver to find out which of these drivers is the longest, maybe which one's the more forgiving, which one spins the highest or the lowest. We want to find out just how they all compare against each other. Well, for today's test, we're going to be testing all 9-degree drivers with a 65-gram extra stiff golf shaft. If you've seen my videos before, you'll notice I swing around about 115 miles an hour when I drive, and I do play a low spin driver. So this is going to relate to my game, which I'm very excited about. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to this channel. We're going to get after it. We're going to hit 50 golf shots testing with the Titleist Pro V1x golf ball. Let's find out which driver is the best in 2025. First up, we've got the Titleist GT3. This is a 2024 release, and around about August is when this club came out, so it's the oldest of all the models. Everything else was released in January of 2025. So let's get started here. The one thing I noticed with the Titleist GT3 is I really love the pear-shaped look with this driver. It's simple, nice black finish, but there's not a lot going on. It's just nice and simple and very classy. And that one felt like I hit that pretty good. And I have this green set at 325, and I've already hit that one over the edge of the green. 336. Wow, pretty good start. Another one dead straight. That basically felt like the exact same shot. Go in the hole. That wasn't bad either. That was just a little lower on the face. So that was 8 millimeters low. So that spin went up to about 2400 spin from a lower strike. Still straight though, I'll take that. So take it, what was that, 317, nice and straight. Alright, so 5 shots in. The first 2 shots with the GT3 were awesome. We're going to come back and hit another 5 with this driver at the end. So we're going to hit 10 shots total with each driver. We're going to do 5 initially, and then come back and hit another 5 more. So let's move on to the next driver. Why don't we throw in the Ping G410 LST. So moving on to the next driver, we've got the Ping G410 LST model. I'm excited to see how this compares because I haven't had the chance to really test too much Ping in the last couple of years. From what I remember, it was just very, very straight. Just nice, solid, straight shots. Looking down at it, I notice it's still got those turbulators on the top of the club, but it's a nice rounded club head. I do like how it looks. And that was definitely a miss hit. I think that was low heel strike. Yeah, didn't quite hit that one quite as good. Still over 300, but didn't hit that one very well. That was a much better swing. That was really good. And I remember these ping drivers always having a little louder sound than this. So I definitely noticed that the G410, sorry, not G410, G440 is a little more muted sound. That was pretty good, 325. Yeah, that wasn't very well struck either. That's probably about as bad of a strike as you'll ever see out of me. Yeah, 14 millimeters low and 5 millimeters off the heel. That's going to spin and go right. And that was much better swing. And we are going to take out the outliers to shots. So we'll keep out the good shots. We'll take out the one that's clearly an obvious miss. Maybe we'll keep up like the best 8 out of 10 when we're done, and we'll really see how they perform. Let's hit one more. All right, so moving on. Let's move on to the next driver. Let's go with the Cobra DS Adapt LS. So the Cobra DS Adapt LS, just like the GT3, has got another nice, clean looking down at it, nice just dark finish to it on the top. Not a lot going on. The one thing I will say about the DS Adapt line is, of all the models, this one will come in at a lower price compared to them all. So if it keeps up, obviously there's a bit of a value in saving a little bit of money with the Cobra drivers. There's a little high toe shot. That'll be a pretty good miss. Slightly low on the face. Still got away with it though. That felt pretty solid. Another one over the back of the green. Five with the DS Adapt LS. I will say I feel like every single one of them was actually a pretty good result. Definitely all of them were well over 300 yards. I liked it. Let's move on to the next driver. Let's throw in the Qi35 LS. So this Qi35 LS, looking down at it, obviously has the most different coloring compared to all the others. It's a lighter gray versus the others being either a darker black or a darker gray. So noticing that, looking down at a dress here, still a nice, rounded pear-shaped look to it though at a dress. Just a touch open with the face there. Well, that one will be definitely an outlier. That was low heel. I love that it went straight. That was definitely a miss. Hey, it was still went over 300. That's pretty good. Forgiving for a miss like that. That was pretty straight. Yeah, 13 millimeters off the heel, 11 millimeters low. That might actually be a bit worse than the other one that I hit. But still take it, over 300. That was probably a little more heel strike again. Yeah, a little shorter on the carry distance. There we go, 304. And that was, let's see how far off the heel on that one that was. Yeah, 10, actually that was a toe strike, just low on the face. And finally, we've got the Callaway Elyte Triple Diamond model. So when I look down at this, same thing. I think their drivers got a little more cleaner to look down at address. Let's see how it compares. Sounded solid. 330. That was a miss set, so that was the low heel strike. Interesting to see kind of what we get out of this. Just like the others, we see a little shorter, but still over 300, which is great. But that was clearly a miss. Yep, 11 millimeters low. Don't like that. Don't like the low strike right now. And let's let the face a little open on that one. Still okay numbers. Okay, so now we've hit 5 shots with each of these 5 drivers. Let's see how they first kind of compare. What we'll do is keep the best 3 of 5 with each driver up. And then we're going to hit 5 more. And then we'll definitely look at with a higher sample size just how they perform. So let's just get a little start. Okay, so purely based on distance, the best 3 of 5 initially here. Let's see how they initially compare. So as I mentioned, we're going to hit 5 more. So if we're looking at carry distance, we got the GT3, 3 of 5 going 332. We've got the DS Adapt LS, 303 going 329. And then we've got the Elyte Triple Diamond 301 going 324. Those were, I guess, your top 3. But you'll notice the other 2 are not far behind. You know, even the Qi35 319 total distance is not bad, and the G440 322 total distance also it is not bad. One thing I'm noticing just a little here, as I mentioned, the Cobra a little more value because the price is a little bit less. Ball speed 167. If you look at all the other 4, we're hovering around about 164 point something. So that definitely stands out. As I mentioned earlier, these are all 9-degree heads, all in their standard setting, all with a 65 gram extra stiff golf shaft. All right, so let's reverse it now. So now what we're going to do is we are going to hit in the reverse order. So the last driver I hit was the Callaway, so I'll hit that first. And then the first driver I hit was the Titleist, so I'll hit that last. So that's hit 5 more, and then we'll have a higher sample size. Okay, well, I'm worn out. 50 driver swings for you guys so you can see a higher sample size. Let's take a look at the data. Okay, here it is. Here are the best 7 of 10 shots. You can see I was sorting through all those shots, and this is purely based on distance. So the 3 shortest shot per club was thrown out of the data. So we got 7 of 10 of the best shots. So let's take a look. Let's see what we can find out when it comes to ball data. So what we'll notice is the DS Adapt LS 9-degree, if we're looking at ball speed, 167.2. That was actually the fastest ball speed by 2 miles an hour. So that's pretty substantial there, right? If we're looking at launch angle, now remember these are all 9-degree drivers. My attack angle generally is about 5 or 6 degrees up with the driver. So we're seeing launch angle there ranging from 13.2 to 14.9. So pretty darn comparable across the board there. What we do notice though is with the DS Adapt LS 9 degree, it was launching a little bit lower, 13.2. As I mentioned, all 9 degree heads not changed there. If we look at spin, so we're seeing the GT3 9 degree that had the lowest spin of all the drivers at 1802 RPMs. DS Adapt was next at 1911. The G440 LST that had the highest spin at 2209. We're talking a range of 300 RPMs. So these are all great numbers, by the way. You can see you're going to get some pretty good distance out of them there. If we're looking at carry distance, the great news is every driver on average carried 300 yards. You can see a range from 300 to 304. So pretty darn close. If we're looking at total distance, you can see the GT3 331 total distance. Second was DS Adapt LS at 330. And third was the Elyte Triple Diamond at 327. You'll see the other two, 324, 323. We're talking it's only a couple yard difference. So not too bad at all. If we're looking here at club data, you can see that efficiency was 143 to 145, so pretty darn good. Remember, with a Foresight GCQuad, it picks up club speed a touch faster than the TrackMan, which is why you see efficiency is not 1.50. If you look at head speed, you can see it's quite interesting here. The G440 was about 2 miles an hour slower than most of the others there, and it did feel a little heavier. And I was giving it all my all with each driver. So I can tell you, 10 shots in here, I wasn't looking at the numbers at all. I was just swinging and then looking at the end, looking at the numbers there. So you can see a little bit slower there, maybe just a little heavier head possibly. And if you look at attack angle, we can see 5.9 to 6.1 up. And path, you can see I'm about half a degree to 1 degree left. So pretty comparable across the board here. Really interesting numbers here to look at. We're talking about the low spin bombers. So these are all the low spin models for each of the top 5 manufacturers out here when it comes to drivers. Let me know how your testing goes. Really interested to find out if you're seeing similar results or if you're seeing something a little bit different. But we're talking pretty darn comparable across the board. We're talking about 9 degree heads. We're talking about not changing any settings here with a 65 gram extra stiff golf shaft. Hope you like this video. I hope this helps you kind of dial in what kind of driver that you should play. Let me know what other videos you want to see. Please subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching.